Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I would like to do this video for you guys here today. This video is one that goes in a video series that I have where I'm just basically going over what I think are the top 10 cards for each rarity. So in this video, I'll go over what I think are the top 10 uncommon cards in our new set here. Here's the first one that I want to talk about. This one is definitely a top 10. Boombox. It's an artifact card. At the beginning of your turn, your first creature gets +2/+0 until the end of turn. Then you have this activate ability here. Activate 2, destroy a random opposing card. This can affect vanguards as well. I think this is really good. I like to put this one with green decks and red decks, just because a lot of times with green and red, you don't have the ability to remove creatures without damage, right? So if you think about it, like red doesn't have the ability to just like, you know, exile target creature or destroy target creature. A lot of times you got to go damage base, like do 6 damage to a creature or whatever, and that becomes really hard to do on a consistent level where you're able to get rid of opposing creatures cards, just, you know, to help you to win. A lot of times black is better at that, white is better at that, and this card here kind of helps to even the playing field. You'll destroy a random opposing card, which is pretty good, right? You can put this, like I said, with green and red, help you to get rid of stuff without having to do damage to them. Here's the next one, Scalestorm Summoner. This is a human warlock. When this creature attacks, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, create a red dinosaur token. This is what the red dinosaur looks like, and again, this is a nice card just because you get this red dinosaur every single time this creature attacks, right? So I would definitely use this card with decks that have creatures that have power 4 and greater, obviously, because that's how you get the red dinosaur. But if you can do that on a consistent basis, yeah, that red dinosaur, as you see, it's got some strength to it, and it's going to get bigger and bigger, and it's just going to force your opponent to have to deal with this one here. Yep, very good. Here's the next one, Vile Smasher, Gleeful Grenadier. It's a goblin mercenary. When another outlaw creature enters the battlefield under your control, deal 2 damage to each opposing target. Obviously, what I'm going to want to do is probably use this card with the red mercenary. Mercenaries, as you know, count as outlaws. You can see here, assassins, rogues, pirates, warlocks, mercenaries. Yeah, those are all your outlaws. Now, if you get one of those cards, they come onto the battlefield, you'll do 2 damage to each opposing creature. What I'm going to want to do is just load tons and tons of creatures, because you're going to be able to get tons and tons of damage to your opponent's creatures and basically keep them off of the field, right? It says here, I just want to point out also that we're talking about 2 damage to each opposing target. So it's not only going to hit the creatures, but it's going to hit the opposing planeswalker as well. So this is a really good card that I'm just going to want to use with tons and tons of those tokens if possible. This is an excellent one. I can't believe this is an uncommon. It's an excellent card. Betrayal at the Vault. Here's another good one. For 12, you play this spell. Your first creature gets +8/+8 and fights target opposing creature. Now, this is what I talked about earlier, right? It's very difficult with green and red to have that ability to get rid of opposing creatures without doing damage. Fight is a damage-based mechanic where you're going to be able to do damage to an opposing creature, but you know what the problem is? What if it's not enough damage, right? If it's not enough damage, you're not removing that creature. So this one is definitely going to help you with that, and it's definitely going to boost your creatures, make them bigger and stronger so that you can get opposing creatures off of the battlefield. And this is going to be a nice card for you, obviously, because you got offense and defense together. But like I said, it's going to be hard to get rid of creatures. You might want to put Boombox in here. Boombox is one of the ones you saw earlier. That's going to help. Step Between Worlds. Here's the next one. Plot 12. Shuffle all cards from each player's graveyards into their libraries. Each player discards their hand. Then each player draws 5 cards. This is another good one here. You got the Plot 12. I'll talk about Plot 12 real quick. What I think is probably the best thing to do is turn off this card, right? If you turn it off, it's not going to be able to play. and you'll keep it in your hand. You're going to want to load the 12 here. Once you load the 12, you are able to exile it from your hand. Once you exile it from your hand, it's going to come back to your hand at some point, and it's gonna be fully paid off, obviously, because of that 12 is there. All right, I haven't played it yet, obviously, so I'm just kind of digging in deeper, and it sounds like that's how this is going to work. But this is going to be a really interesting one, because if you do that, you're going to have the plotted emblem, and you're going to be able to gain some good mana here. 10's a nice amount. I like this card also because it has that feel where you're able to draw a lot of cards and then get rid of them, right? Anytime you're able to draw lots of cards and get rid of them, or in this case, get rid of cards and then draw, that really helps out creatures like the Steam Core Scholar, right? Steam Core Scholar just really helps you in a way where you're able to get loyalty, gain mana, but you're going to have to draw a lot of cards, right? And this one will help you draw a ton of cards, team it up with that Steam Core Scholar, and this is going to help you just to be pretty dominant. Excellent stuff on this one. Here's the next one, Jolene, Plundering Pugilist. It's a human mercenary. Good stuff on this. Obviously, those mercenaries are what you would refer to as outlaws. This one will count as an outlaw. When a creature you control attacks, if that creature has power 4 or more, create 2 gold tokens. So that's really good. I like that this deck helps you, well, not this deck, but this set helps you to make a lot of gold tokens. I covered that in several of these videos for this series, but this one is another one here that's going to help you to make a ton of gold tokens. All right, it says also when a simple token you control is destroyed, deal 2 damage to the first opposing creature. Obviously, what you're going to want to do is make a lot of those simple tokens, and gold will count as a simple token. You're going to want to destroy them, and then you'll be able to do tons and tons of damage to your opponent's creatures. So this is a really good one. This is a nice one here for uncommon. Fleeting Reflection, another interesting one. Target creature gains hexproof and prevent damage until the beginning of your next turn, then reinforce that creature. For me, the best part is the reinforcing of the creature. You're obviously going to want to use this card with big creatures, because that way you'll get the most out of that reinforcement. But you know what? It's got some extra benefits here. I think just being able to reinforce them for 7 is pretty awesome. But you get some extra stuff here. The prevent damage, the hexproof, that's really, really cool. This is a really good card. It's not effectively priced, because I think you could add a little more to it there, but it's a really good one. Right, Miriam Herd Whisperer, human druid card. At the beginning of your opponent's turn, your mount and outlaw creatures gain hexproof until the end of your turn. When a mount or outlaw creature you control attacks, that creature gets +1/+1. This is a nice one for outlaws or mounts. Obviously, what you're going to want to do is have a deck with those in, and also this one. And then every single time you attack, those creatures are going to get a nice buff, right? So, I mean, kind of cool. I'd put that with some proliferate stuff, just because proliferate will give you another buff as long as you've already had a buff, kind of thing. And then, yeah, this is going to be a good one for that as well. Okay, here's the next one. Nurturing Pixie is a fairy rogue. Interesting one here. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may return target creature to owner's hand. If you do, this creature gets +1/+1. I kind of like this one because there's the ability to play some defense. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may return target creature to owner's hand. That's going to help you with some defense. Obviously, you're going to be able to flicker this card. Flicker it's not an ability, technically speaking, but I think you see some cards out there that will exile a card and then bring it back. If you were to exile this card here, then bring it back, that would be really, really helpful, because you could return target creature to owner's hand, and then yeah, you would be able to use that here. And you kind of do that every single turn, and your opponent's not going to be able to play any creatures. So yeah, really cool. That flicker ability. Yeah, take a look for it. Rustler's Rampage, spell card with the sprees again. Spree, I kind of talked about it in other videos. If you have a spree card in your deck, you'll get the spree emblem at the beginning of the turn, is what I'm understanding. And when you make a match, you'll be able to boost that spree number. Okay, so let's say on one turn you make one match and that's it. If this card is played on that turn, you'll have spree 1, right? If you have 2 matches on that same turn and then you play this card, you're going to get spree 2, right? Because obviously the 2 matches. Here's what it is. Spree 1, your first creature gets vigilance until the end of your next turn. Spree 2, if you have that spree 2, you get double strike. So, excellent one here. I like that double strike ability. I like the ability to get vigilance too, because it just helps you to block. But really, really cool stuff. I think these two, vigilance, double strike together, very, very good. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe, share with all your friends. That helps the channel. And yeah, watch all of the videos in this series, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying them. We do this for you. So yeah, anyway, that's it for me. Good gaming, guys.